Hello and welcome to another episode of Between the Covers. I'm just sharing this amazing video out. How can I not? So if you're watching for the first time, my name is Daniela Bleckner. I am an author, book journey mentor, founder of a company called Conscious Dreams Publishing. We work with authors from all over the world, from 7 years old to people in their 80s, to help them to get their powerful messages and stories out in the form of books. Behind me are just some of the 300 plus books that we've published over the last 9 years. I'm absolutely passionate about providing a platform for unseen, unheard authors so they can have their voices heard and stories shared, so they can educate, inspire, empower, and entertain for generations to come. This show is called Between the Covers because it's a platform where I interview some of our authors and other authors, but also people who work within the publishing and writing industry to help you really find out what goes on between the covers of writing and publishing a book. So I have a very special guest today, but before that, I want to speak about the guests I had last week. Last week, I had a guest called Neural Solitaire who wrote a book, here we go, called Abyssal Kingdom, a fantasy novel, absolutely brilliant. And these two people who I have, this next guest I'm inviting you on, has been working alongside Neural, writing her book as well. So I've been mentoring them both at the same time, and they're launching literally within a day of each other. So my next guest is a mentee that I have spent the longest time with. I have mentored her, it feels like forever, since she was 10 years old. She is now 13 years old. So that's 3 years of mentoring. She's been amazing to work with. I hope I can continue working with her. And I am just so pleased, proud, and honored to say that her book, A Flightless Bird, is coming out on the 27th of October, the same day as Black Authors on the Rise, which is at Key's house, where her mum is the actual CEO of the venue. So really looking forward to that. She's launching on the day her very first book, only 13 years old. What an incredible achievement. So Gyeni, she changed her name to a pen name. I need to get used to it. Gyeni Goman is a wonderful author, very articulate, great vision. Some of the words she knows I have never heard before. I'm always learning. I'm just so proud she's completed this book. She loves reading, she loves writing, and she also does her own illustrations. So we'll talk about this cover later. Please, I want to see some comments. If you're watching, let me know where you're watching from. Please, I want to see some fire emojis going up and down the screen, please, as you welcome my lovely author and mentee, Gyeni Goman. And this is her very, very first interview. Oh, we have Neural on. Hi, Neural. Awesome.
Oh
How are you doing, Jennifer?
I'm great, actually. You know, my book arrived today.
I know. I'm so excited that it actually arrived today because I've had 2 copies of my book for quite a while now. Yeah. And I was just praying that you would get yours. So I'm so glad you got it this morning. Yeah. Your video was just brilliant. How did you, when you opened your book, how did you feel actually opening it and just seeing that, you know, your baby in your hands?
I was like, oh, wow, finally. I mean, it's been like 3 years and it's taken such a long time. So this is a product of all of my procrastination and all of the late nights I spent writing instead of sleeping.
You finally get to sleep. I would say it's a product of all of your determination, all of your commitment, and all of your hard work, right? Because you didn't start off with this book first, you know. And also I want you to bear in mind that a lot of authors, I mean, I'm talking about myself here, I'm still writing a fantasy novel that I started how long ago? 15 years ago. right? So to get this out in the time that you did is absolutely fantastic. So before I ask you any more questions, I want to acknowledge people who are watching. I want to see some hearts, please. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're watching, just please just show some love, give this a heart, share this out to people. She is an absolute inspiration. We've got Naseba and Mum, Highness from Naseba and Mum, congratulations. Amazing. We've got Muba, I can't say these names.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Mubalu, you can say these names for me, saying hello. Michelle, one of our authors, is saying wow. Nikessa is giving you fire emojis. H4LL, we love you. We've got lots of people on YouTube here. Kathy says hi. Pamela, another author's giving you hearts here. Go, man, says Edmund. Well, I mean, you've got lots. You've got lots of hearts. Pamela Thompson, who is Muir's mentor, says, congratulations. Look forward to meeting you on Sunday. So we are in very exciting times. And I think what's great about you is your testament to what it means to really stick with something, because I know that can be hard, especially when you're writing a book. So talk us through like a little bit of the process. Like, you didn't have this idea straight away, did you? You had lots of different ideas. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, I when I was this went through many iterations. I think the first 3 of them never made it past chapter 4. One of them made it to a chapter 14, and then I scrapped it, started again.
I remember.
Because I didn't like the main character.
I remember. You just killed him off. But we got so far into that book, didn't we? We got to chapter 14. We're like, yeah, nearly there. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. And then Genoa's one day said, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I really hate my main character.
Honestly, I mean, Samson, he is not any better. He's a detestable boy.
Go get the book, everybody. Detestable boy, Samson. I'm gonna read some comments here because there's quite a lot I don't want to miss. There's some really good ones here. And then we're going to crack into Samson here. So you're saying you're the best bestie. Oh, that's lovely. I mean, that's something that's been quite beautiful coming out of this mentoring, is it? You've got to meet each other, two young people writing a book at the same time, someone to talk to about the process. I think that's lovely. You got your uncle Charles giving you hearts there. Joan saying, hi, everyone. Sarah Turner's giving you a heart. Nathaniel, shout out to Nathaniel. Alexander saying hello with some hearts. Edmund saying that's Queen. Awesome. You got lots of support her. It's brilliant. Nathaniel saying go Jenema. So I mean, let's talk then about the book. A Flightless Bird. What is it about, and what inspired you to write it? Look at this beautiful cover.
Well, it's it's about this boy, and he's dealing with the death of his sister. He's grieving. He's trying to go through life normally, and then one day he decides to visit her grave. At the graveyard, he meets this new girl who joined his class that day. They decide to hang out for whatever reason, and then they get abducted.
As you do.
Oh yeah, as you do.
So we're not going to kind of go into detail. We've kind of hit the huge kind of dilemma, which is they get abducted. What kind of themes can people expect to go through, read, experience?
Like grief, loneliness,
what was that? Was it transhumanism?
Oh yes, transhumanism. Oh, what's the word? What are you
thinking? We talked about emotion. Yeah, so it was like grief, loss, friendship, transhumanism, emotions, right?
Yeah.
What is transhumanism? Great words. Okay, let's talk about that. What does transhumanism mean?
Oh, okay. So like, it's transcending humanity. It's being something human adjacent, close to human, but not quite. Like, think of I don't know, think of like iRobot.
iRobot. Yeah, exactly. So sort of melding technology with a person, really.
Yeah, but
Go on.
I would say that it's not it's got mild sci-fi elements, it's not really heavy on the sci-fi. It's less about the actual concept of transhumanism and more about someone going through the process.
Yeah, exactly. Well explained. So it's kind of, it touches on it, but it's about the character and what the character's going through. Can I read your blurb? Because I'm really trying not to call your name. Jenny. It's just Jenny, isn't it? I don't know why.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
No, it's not a big deal. It's because today is the only time I've heard you actually say it, so I already spelt it up until this point. Okay, Jenny. Pauline, your auntie says, so proud of you. Love Auntie Pauline. I'm going to read the blurb. Or do you want to read your blurb, Jenny?
Yeah, I'll read it.
Yeah, I want to read your blurb.
Let me
It's amazing.
pick it up. Samson has been an only child for nearly a year. On what seems like an ordinary day, he finally plucks up the courage to visit his sister, Samantha's grave, hoping to find some form of acceptance. Instead, he meets Galatea, the new girl in his class, a girl who would lead him not just into danger, but toward the truth about his sister's death, no matter how deep they have to dig. As they unravel a mystery far more sinister than they expected, they find themselves caught in an experiment with hidden agendas. Will Samson escape this tangled web and overcome his guilt, or will he fall flat on the pavement like a flightless bird?
It's brilliant. How does it feel reading your blurb from your actual book? How does that feel?
Well, it's like, wow, I wrote this thing, I wrote the blurb, and my illustration is also on the back, so it's superimposed on my illustration. So this is me.
This is literally everything that was in your head in a form that you can hold. Your illustrations, your blurb, everything inside there. You own that. You did that. You know.
Yeah, this is going in my portfolio.
And it's just a portfolio of many, many, many achievements that you've completed and to come. So somebody said, good blurb. Red Oxel says, good blurb. Excellent. If we love that blurb, please just throw up your fire emojis. What did you think of that blurb? Is that something you would pick up and read? Let us know. Okay, I've got so many questions. Who would you say your book is for, firstly? But also I want to ask you, why did you call it A Flightless Bird? Because I know that you changed titles a few times. Why A Flightless Bird?
Well, the bird, a lot of reasons. Firstly, there's always been this theme of birds, mostly as sort of a throwaway.
Oh, who's coming? Yeah, you're back.
Like the names of the abductors, they are different types of bird.
Mm-hmm.
And also because my cat, he's over there, he's off camera. He is a killer, and he keeps killing birds and leaving them.
Or stay away from my pigeon.
Yeah, no, he kills really big ones and just leaves them in the garden. He drags them around and there are feathers all over.
So it's just for fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just for fun. And also when I used to walk to the bus stop, I had to walk under this kind of big tree. And every so often I'd see like a fledgling fall from the nest and just be on the pavement, you know.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Literally a flightless bird.
Yeah. And that's where the illustration came from, because I didn't want to make it too gory, but it's kind of, this is the actual, I looked up bird anatomy. This is anatomically correct.
Well, actually, So I know this person is a science teacher who's actually asked this question. You've just answered it. Dockstead is saying, where did that bird skeleton come from? So he probably recognizes that it is there's some words I can't say. Anatomically, there we go. Correct.
Well, it's like roughly anatomically correct. It's not an illustration of any specific bird, but it's like, this would function.
So
that's why I put Samson's face on it. And Samson's face is actually some of the details been lost. Not much of it though, but the original illustration was in like 4K, and I spent a lot of time on his face. His face was based off of those statues of Mary, like the statues of Our Lady of Sorrows weeping.
Okay. And you have a portfolio there, don't you, in front of you? Has that got the image? So I know you want to show us, Jennifer. Come on.
Oh,
Can
yes,
I read?
of course.
I'm going to read some comments out so far.
Okay.
Sarah says, I'm already transfixed. I can't wait to read. So you can get copies in the link. So whether you're watching on YouTube or whatever mode, it's up there or down there. You can buy it from the Conscious Dreams bookshop if you want a signed copy. You can also buy it from Amazon and any online platform. Just Google her and she'll come up. And she'll also be at Black Authors on the Rise, launching on the 27th of October. Come down, just scroll through my page. You'll find the information. I'm just going to quickly read this. Dell says, love the illustration. Edmund says, let's go, Jennifer. You sound so good.
Yay.
Nana, go
on. So this is where I was practicing drawing bird skeletons because I wanted it to be at least correct. Approximately correct.
Yeah.
Let me just fold over the page here. And I don't know.
Wow.
This is the first
detailed. Yeah.
Yeah, the first draft.
That's beautiful. Have you always loved drawing? Is that something you've always done, or is it something you've developed over time?
Well, yeah, it's something I've always done, but this summer I got really into it.
And would you say that there are, I don't want to ask you which do you like best, but I'm going to ask you, do you prefer to, I know it's really hard, do you prefer writing or do you prefer drawing, or does it depend on your mood?
Yeah, honestly, I like them both. The thing with drawing that I may or may not like better is because you get that immediate feedback. Because if you've written a lovely bit of prose, you love it, and it's not a thing that you'll be like, ugh, when you improve. It's just like, oh my gosh, this is a memory. This was really good.
Yeah.
But with drawing, it's like you get the immediate feedback, and then you move on, you improve, and you notice all the mistakes. But what I'm trying to say is, like, drawing, you can just put it out there straight away, get feedback from people on the internet. With writing, it's a lot more personal, and people have to take time to get invested to give proper feedback.
That makes sense, definitely. And also, I think I guess it's the same as writing and drawing, but sometimes when people are reading things, they're always going to get a different perspective on it. Whereas, like you said, with the art, it's more visual. Okay, you've got lots of questions here, so I'm going to throw some of these up. Your cat likes you and is trying to teach you how to catch birds. Again.
Do you hear that, Custard?
Let's see Custard. Come on. I won't bring the pigeon on, but you can bring Custard on.
Yeah.
Of Custard and the pigeon. Hello, yeah. Custard.
Say hello.
Hello.
He's not amused.
Has he not read the book yet? Custard, have you not read the book?
Oh, he's too lazy and too orange.
Too lazy. He's so over it, isn't he? Nice to meet you, Custard. What a great name. So yeah, apparently that's what they do when they kill things and give it to you. They it's a sign of they like you.
Also, when they stick their nose up your nostril, they're trying to teach you how to smell them better.
Oh,
And locate where
really?
they are.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that, really. Oh, means they never want to be lost. That's quite sweet. I just get pecked by my pigeon. Nasifo says, congratulations. That's Sarah's mum, another young author. She's at the Black Authors on the Rise on Sunday. So this Nurul's saying, why is the cover like that? What made you choose that cover for your book? Yeah, so talk to us about the concept behind the book and the colours.
Oh, yes. So I wanted it to be extremely monotonous. This is intentional. It's supposed to look sort of dark and dingy because I didn't want it to overcompensate. It's like, oh, this is sort of, it's not like eye-catching, it's just sort of intriguing. So you open up the book and you read it.
Definitely intriguing. What do we think? I mean, I think it's eye-catching, but I think what you mean, like eye-catching and like, oh wow, that's a really bright, colourful. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
But I'll definitely look twice. A head on a bird. Why is it flightless? What's happening?
Yeah, because some of the covers that I use as a reference is like the Penguin Classics edition of Crime and Punishment. I really liked that, and it was just cracked glass, and it didn't. Yeah, it was simple.
I feel like I want to look up Crime and Punishment now. I'll see if I can do it in time and bring it up for people. Okay. Michelle says that is a fantastic blurb. I want her book. Link is in the post. Josephine and I are proud of you, Jenny. Oh, you've got so many people on.
Yay.
I've always been so jealous of your art, Miss You, says HFLL. Cool. These are your friends here. Amazing. Amazing. Denise, you are coming over so good and very proud. Love, Nana. Oh, I mean, we have got Sarah here. I'm impressed by this whole by this girl. Well done. Sarah Keto's here. She says amazing drawings. The joys of being an author, we get to express ourselves. Exactly. You're saying you better be careful, Misty. Piper's in trouble. Do you think this cover will scare little ones? Well, I mean, let's kind of combine that with the other question that you just had, which is who's the book for? Because it's not for young people, is it? Talk to us about your audience and maybe some of the things in there, why it's not for kids.
Yeah. Okay. So I'd say it's like young adult, maybe. Age range, like 13 and up. This is because it has some quite intense themes. And even when I was writing them, I was like, oh, does this belong in my diary or in the book that I'm going to put out to the public?
Well, you know how I feel about horror. There's a little bit of horror in there.
Oh, so it's so bad.
I think Jenny thinks that I'm a bit of a wuss, but how you describe things, though, even the smallest of things, like somebody picking a scab, it's so visual and so detailed and like so beautifully described. It's such a skill to be able to do that, that. So it almost kind of feels amplified, in that way, even though it's small things. But yeah, definitely young adults, sort of 13 and up, I would say, for this book, definitely. I was going to ask if you want to read some from here.
Yes, that's literally what I was thinking. We have the same one brain cell.
We do have this one brain cell. We do have very similar brains, don't we? Go on. Find a page that you want to read from, and then you can read.
Oh my gosh, I can't find one.
What? There's a question. There's a couple of things here. All right. Just take your time. It's fine. Neil says, yes, please do. I'm a sucker for horror. I think you two need to swap books. Sarah's
Well, I
saying,
mean,
go on.
if they judge my character by reading my book, like, maybe I'm just too cool for them.
So the question was, do you think people will judge your character by reading your book?
Oh my gosh, I can't find the page that I really liked.
Take your time.
Okay.
Red Oxtail is saying the artwork looks like something Salvador Dali or Nikolai Zach. I can't pronounce. I'm sure you know how to pronounce it.
Can I just like take a picture of that comment quick? Like, because I want to research that artist. Let me just.
I'll tell you afterwards, sweetheart. Don't worry.
Okay.
Jen is like me. If I hear something that really piques my interest, that you know, I'll go off and I'll research for hours. Make sure you get some sleep though.
I'll try. Oh my gosh,
So
I literally can't find a page.
that's okay. Oh, Sarah says you are. Yes, you are amazing. Really cool.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, you've taught me a plethora of words. See, Gyeni. I mean, some of the words that she comes up with, especially words that describe colors, and I consider myself to have a very good vocabulary, but some of the words that you know are just like beyond anything. Where do you get your vocabulary? Where do you learn these words?
Just like, well, recently I've been reading a lot of Russian literature, like 19th century stuff. So they
Right.
have a lot of archaic words, like old words. And it's a pain to get through. But, you know, when I research those words, it's where I implement them into my work. And also some of the songs I listen to,
Mm-hmm.
I I like poetry, like Sylvia Plath, Anne Sexton. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a 13-year-old young author here who is talking about some serious poets, you know, Sylvia Plath, talking about 19th century literature. It's just wonderful to see. And this is a really great example of the importance of reading diversely and widely. Roy is saying, bloody wonderful. Love ya.
Yes. Oh my gosh! Wait, could you find a page for me? Like,
Okay.
just tell me the page number and then I'll read it.
Okay. Trying to look for a page number with like a really complicated vocabulary that people will say, what does that
My
mean?
prose has improved since finishing this.
Oh gosh, honestly, the talk while I look for a page now, tell people, you know, about the process of kind of starting something and then, you know, getting to the end of it. How did it feel? Because I know it wasn't easy to get to the end of the project, and especially when you had so many different ideas as well. Can you talk to us a little bit about that while I try and find a page?
Yeah, I think the way I wrote this book, I wrote it sort of inside out. Most people sort of start with the skin and then go deeper. I started with the organs and then built out to the skin. You know,
That's a great.
I started with the very core ideas, like no, not the core ideas. I started with the details and then I developed them into ideas and then I developed a story around that. And then I actually developed a plot. That took a while, didn't it?
Do you know what? It's like the writing was beautiful, and there was a plot. You had the idea, but I think you really got into your characters and how they interact, and then we kind of did work a little bit backwards. Of right, okay, let's try and weave the plot throughout, and it's all a learning process. You know, if I knew what I knew 15 years ago, I wouldn't still be writing the same book. You know, so you've done this in a really short amount of time, and it is a great achievement. I'm going to go for let's start on chapter 8. I think it's page 56.
Okay, let me find it.
Oh, while you're waiting. I think you get all your vocab from your amazing mum.
Can't believe you. Yeah, where? Wait, where?
The beginning of chapter 8. Let's go for that.
Oh, page 55. This paragraph?
Yes.
Okay.
So in the new book, the chapter 8 starts on a new page, but we've got the old proof copy, just so you know, people. All right, we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My eyes snapped open of their own accord. A feeling of hopelessness washed over my body. I just stared at the ceiling. The same ceiling I was under a whole day ago. In the same bed, it seemed, with the same broken springs, hardened glue, and sweet wrappers hidden in the duvet. They would have been gone if anyone had bothered to tie them up. Mum sure wasn't fit to do it, and I had to deal with the maid that she cleaned where she wanted to, and I stayed out of her way. I looked over, searching for my bookcases on the other side of the room, but I didn't see them. Nor did I see my lamp. Come to think of it, the room was unusually dark, as I always slept with the lights on. I sat up, frantically observing the things around me. I wasn't alone.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Now, Newell is saying, wait, you're going to read from page 55. That's spoilers. Well, no, it's not a spoiler because you don't know if there's anyone in the room, do you?
It's just praise.
So what was the most satisfying bit about writing, the writing process in itself?
Honestly, this one character later on in the book bullies Samson, and I enjoyed that so much.
Oh. Sarah Keto, you're going to come on with another comment about what's going on in Jenny's mind. So you bullying thing, did you? Did you not like Samson anymore?
I didn't like him from the get-go. He just seemed whiny.
Okay. I don't know where to go from there. What are we going to do? Please don't kill your main character off. Poor Samson, says Neural. Now we want to know who is in the room and what happened before that. Exactly. We want context. We want to know. So, who are your favorite authors? And we are going to talk about writer's block, but let's find out who your favorite authors are first.
Well, I think recently it's been Fyodor Dostoevsky. Who else?
I've thrown you on the spot there, I know.
I actually can't think.
You were reading some other books before. That was last year, though. I can't remember the...
Oh my gosh, I've got... yeah. Bret Easton Ellis, simply because he wrote American Psycho, and that's my favorite book in the whole wide world.
The horror again.
It's not even horror. It's like slasher.
No, that's enough for me. She knows how I feel about horror. Okay, Dell's saying, how can you not like the main character? We've had chats about this, Dell.
I didn't make him cry too much. Like, he's allowed to cry, and that was an okay thing. But he's constantly contradicting himself. He's making himself unlikable for the people around him. This is just how I feel. Like, I would not want to be around Samson. I would just get fed up.
But he makes the right decision in the end, right?
He makes right decisions. He's just, like, sometimes, like... This is why we can't read each other's minds, because if we could read each other's minds, we'd get so sick of each other.
Yes.
I hate knowing what's going on in his mind.
You feel like you've become quite well acquainted with Samson because you've been writing this book for quite a while now. So I think you're probably fed up of
he's like a best friend, but I never actually meant to be friends with him.
Can you see how our mentoring sessions go?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't. Okay, what led you to read Russian literature is one question here.
It's just like charity shops. I go into a lot of charity shops looking for books, and they usually have classics, Russian literature. I was reading Cancer Ward while I was on holiday by Alexander, I think Solzhenitsyn. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I haven't finished it yet, but it's nice to just pick up and intensely focus on, because it's not like the other stuff I read. I used to be more into like fantasy,
I
Lord of the
remember.
Rings, stuff like that. But Russian literature, it's very to the point, usually really dark, and like it's dark because it's realistic. Cancer Ward is about, a cancer ward during during the Soviet Union, like during when the Soviet Union was up and running. And the Fyodor Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment is about a guy that kills someone. Notes from Underground, guy that is sad. Basically, it's literally what the book is about.
Wow. So that initial book that you read, that you got from the charity shop, actually got you into reading more and more Russian literature. Yeah. Wow. That's fantastic. Honestly, it's putting me to shame. I'm going to research. I'm going to ask you for the names of these
Okay.
authors. I'm going to research them as well. Sorry, and you're saying maybe it's Samson's low self-esteem.
Oh yes, that's what makes me dislike him. It's because he has low self-esteem and he tells me about it. I have to write about his low self-esteem. We all have problems, Samson. You're not the only one who's allowed to be hurt.
But he's your main character. It's your main character. But I mean, would you say your character sort of, would you use him in another book? Because his character develops a bit. So we're going to see progression with his character in other books, because you can't hate him that much if you're going to keep him.
No. However much I hate him, he's like a limb I can't amputate. He is a cancerous limb. Like he's literally he's my right arm, and I need him.
But you need him to write, don't you? I honestly don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. Beverly said she is so funny and wise beyond her years. Amazing. 100%. 100%.
Wow.
I mean, our mentoring sessions are fantastic. You're very mature. The choice of genre. Yeah, exactly. Honestly, I really look at my bookshelf thinking need to read a little bit more. Oh dear. Okay, so a couple more questions, because we are going to have to go very soon. What has been your? Oh no, we weren't talking about writer's block, so we're going off on tangents. 3 more questions. I know that you've had writer's block, Jenna. We've spoken about it quite a lot. How does it feel for people who've not experienced it, and what kind of things you do to help yourself through it?
It's actually the worst feeling in the world. It's the worst pain in the world. It's like you have so many feelings, but you try and sit down and write, and smoke comes off your fingertips. There is nothing going on that page.
And how's it for everyone else in the house?
Oh, it's miserable. I make their lives miserable. If I can't write, then no one can enjoy anything.
Right, let's pick up the people in your house who have supported you. I know your mum has organised these sessions, the whole publishing, and obviously your launch on Sunday. Dell's on; she's laughing her head off. So I just want to give a huge big up to Del Rita and your family who've been supporting you, and all the beautiful people on here. Really excited to see you with your book. Roy says, a truly super intelligent author in the making, one to watch for the future. You're amazing. So true. Hey, Raholi's come on. Raholi's been doing some translations for us. She actually translates into Spanish. So if you want your book translated into Spanish, there you go. All right. So we've spoken about writer's block and how painful it is, not just for you, but for everyone in your house. What kinds of things do you do to overcome that then?
Well, sometimes if my ears enabled me to, if I'm not suffering from tinnitus, I listen to music. Like Usually like metal, not heavy metal, but like just sort of soft metal gets me
Gentle,
out of the funk.
a bit of gentle, soft metal, right?
Oh yes, soft metal.
Soft metal, all right. Soft
No,
metal.
yeah,
I,
just
I love, I
like
love that genre.
oh yes, of course it exists.
Okay, soft bit of
Yeah,
soft metal. I'm trying to imagine how that goes. I know it does. I just I don't know. I've never heard
yeah,
it.
it's not got like all the screaming and everything.
Oh,
It's
I
just
could do
got loads of bass.
it.
I don't know, it's hard to describe.
Okay, all right. Maybe you can give us some titles later, and I'll see if it works for me. Um, no, I know what you mean. Writer's block can be a real pain, especially when like you've got a deadline or you really want to get something done. It's quite frustrating. Oh, sorry. It's quite frustrating. But you overcame it and you've completed your book. And I know like that is a huge thing. I'm honestly, I can't even explain how proud I am of you. You know, even now, just doing your interview, I remember you last year at my book launch in November. Do you remember when I called you up to say a few
That was
words?
last year?
That was last year, it was a year ago, November the 18th or something like that. Yeah. Do you remember?
I do remember.
Yeah. Remember how it felt when you went up and you had to talk in front of everyone? How did
It's
that feel?
always yeah, it's always hard for me to describe my book because like how I describe it to my friends is basically boy he's grieving his sister, then he goes to her grave and stuff happens.
And they just want to pick it up and say, right, what stuff? I want to know. I want to know what this is. What is it? But I mean, do you feel like you've grown in confidence over the last year, just like with yourself and with writing as well?
Yeah.
I think so, definitely. Definitely. And this is the first of many, many more achievements, whether it's books, whether it's coming to join us as an illustrator, maybe.
I'd
Whatever
love
it is,
that.
that would be amazing, wouldn't it? Look at that. Look at, and she does her research as well, anatomically.
Anatomically.
There you go. Correct. I'm going to miss Jenna. Let's just keep on our mentoring sessions just because it's been great. All right. So we have come to the end of the interview. I cannot believe it. You've been absolutely fantastic. You've answered the questions really well. I couldn't be prouder of yourself and Nurul as well, who also is on. And, you know, I hope you keep that friendship. You've got a stall on Sunday together at Black Authors on the Rise. And I hope that you sell lots of books and you just enjoy yourself and meet other authors as well. You know, it's about creating a community and supporting each other in that journey, because it can be quite lonely, can't it, sometimes? Yeah. Gyeni Goman, any last parting words? What would you say to somebody who was like writing a book and then they've thought, oh gosh, I've got writer's block, I don't know what to do, no one's going to read it, oh, I'm just going to give up? What would you say to them?
If you give up, start again. Like literally just scrap it, start again with the same core ideas, and you know, you can make as many additions as you want. If you get inspired one day, don't be afraid to open up a new document, because the old document can block you even further. Just
That's true.
start fresh and then implement it into the existing document.
Very powerful advice. I think a lot of people are scared to stop and start fresh after all that hard work, and I think it's brave, and that is very powerful advice. So thank you so much, Gyeni Goman. Join us. Thank you everyone for watching as well. We've had so many people on, so many comments. Absolutely beautiful. Please do support Gyeni and get her book and come down to Black Authors on the Rise, where she'll be launching her book. There's going to be a still band. There's going to be Caribbean food. There's going to be music, entertainment. We've got Beverly Jacobs on, who's going to be our host. And we have Rudolph Walker coming down. If you don't know Rudolph Walker, well, some of you may not. He's, for the younger generation, he plays Mr. Truman, Patrick Truman in EastEnders, but he's also got a 60-year career as an actor in film, TV, and theatre. One of the first Black actors to act, to make it in the UK. So yes, lovely. Someone said seeing your growth is amazing. You made me laugh. Have a lovely evening. Thank you so much everybody for joining. Please join us next Thursday, 7 p.m. GMT, 2 p.m. EST, where I will be interviewing the awesome and amazing Yoshiba, who is also aka Grandma Wiseau, who has written 2 books with us. One has been translated into 4 languages. Chrissy, Clever Chrissy and the Mangoes, and she is releasing a colouring book on the 31st of October. Come and join us then. Thank you everybody so much for coming on. Please do continue to support Jenema and her journey. Bye.